You may have zero professional engineering experience, not a single person in your network, hell, not even any design club experience. Yet you could still secure your very first engineering internship no matter where you're at. How can I know? Because I was in the same exact shoes that you were at right now, yet I still got my first internship within only a 2-week time period. All because I didn't complain about the system, but I rather worked with what I had so that I could refine my portfolio, my resume, and my cover letter. So today I'm going to show you the exact same steps that I took so that you could get the same results that I got when I was in your shoes. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to polish off in your engineering application is your design portfolio. Now, this is arguably the most important thing to have in your applications because most people out there don't actually know that you can include this type of document with your applications. They think you just need a resume and a cover letter, and that's it. That's honestly the bare minimum though. That is the bare minimum. Everyone's doing that, so why would you do that, right? So let's take a look at this. There's going to be two different parts that you're going to want to include in your portfolio, or two different details, I should say. And it's going to be structure and content. So structure is going to be the visual appeal. How visually appealing is your design portfolio, okay? And second is going to be the content that's actually in there. Now there's going to be the skills and the projects that you're sort of showcasing in this portfolio. So for structure, you're going to want to make it very, very presentable, because even if you have a design portfolio, if it's not presentable, it's not going to stand out amongst those black and white cover letters and resumes out there. It's still going to be boring amongst those boring pieces of documents to the hiring managers. They go through many of them every day. Okay, you got to be special. So that's where visual appeal comes in. Okay, and I understand that you're not really the best at designing things, designing sort of templates and portfolios types of stuff like this. And if you were to, it would take a lot of time, and you don't have a lot of time because you are an engineering student. But you're in luck because you could click the top link in the description, and this portfolio template as well as 4 other ones are going to be included down there. And I also include resume templates, cover letter templates, and these are all bonuses to the main course, which is the actual video course on how to design these things, how to tailor them to your sort of skills and your sorts of experiences. So click down below and learn how to make the perfect engineering application right now with whatever you got. Now let's look at the type of things that you're going to be typing in your portfolio. All right, so for this one, this is sort of a smaller personal project, and there's not a lot of things you could talk about. So for no matter what type of project you're going to include, you're always going to include this detailed and concise sentence for the type of project that it is. Now, for the rest of the words that you're going to want to include, you're going to want to include first the skills. That's going to be the top priority of what you're going to want to include in your design portfolio. Okay, the skills. But if you don't have any other skills that you used for the specific project, as for me, I only use SolidWorks in this, you're going to want to fill that white space with some features. Some features about the project. Like right here, I said I used 5 degrees of freedom. I designed it with a hydraulic system. There's 90 different components in this portfolio. So just include some features if you can include a lot of skills, because you didn't use a lot of skills. So this right here is a good example of what you could write for a mini personal project. Now for the content. You may be asking, what types of projects could you be including in this portfolio? Well, I have a very simple blueprint that you could follow so that you could get the most results out of your portfolio. So first, you're going to ask yourself, what type of industry do you want to go into? What type of industry? And then you're going to ask yourself, what types of position would you like to go to? Would you like to go into? So for the industry, this could be robotics, sustainability. This could be consumer electronics. And for the position, it's going to be specific things to your major. So it could be hardware engineering. It could be a product design engineer. This could be a structural engineer position. Whatever it is, define your industry and desired position. So once you got those, look at my example right here, okay? Let's say you want to go into robotics industry, and that's one of the industries that I wanted to go into. And let's say you want to have a position of maybe product design. So for the position, you're going to search up on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Indeed, whatever. You're going to search up this type of position, product design, into that search bar, and then you're gonna see what types of qualifications there are. And then you're also gonna look for the robotics industry and what type of person they're looking for. So this is some details what you could find. Some skills under product design, that's a requirement, and some requirements and qualifications for the robotics industry. Now, once you got that, you're gonna make your projects tailored to them. This makes a lot of sense. So I don't know why people don't think this way. It's common sense, but it's very powerful, because what you're doing right here is you're tailoring the types of projects to your desired industry, and you're tailoring the types of skills that you're presenting to your desired position. Is that not smart right there? That's what we do as engineers. That's what we do. So that's how you complete your portfolio. So I'd recommend getting like at least 4 different projects under your belt. And honestly, if you don't have any projects or any time that you could spend to work on personal projects, you could honestly work on different projects that you've done in your courses, right? Because you do a lot of courses in engineering. I'm sure you know of it. We do a lot. And then I counted it actually. I think I did like 5 at least in my first year. And you can even include labs. And honestly, if you don't have time, just include them. Because having a portfolio is way more beneficial than not having one. Okay, so even if they're not tailored to your desired industry and desired position, still include them. Now moving on to the resume. These are 6 different key details to have in your resume. Personal info, education, skills, technical experience, and personal projects and other experiences. So this is mine. That I used to get my first internship. So you could take a screenshot of that if you'd like. But, I forgot to mention. Take a screenshot of this. Before you start, okay? Back here, personal info. You're gonna want your email, number, all that kind of stuff. Some links if you'd like. Education, right? Your education. Skills. This could be sort of hard skills, but I wouldn't recommend putting soft skills, because anyone can say that they're a hard worker, they're a good leader, they're a good speaker, but it's just like there's no proof to it, right? And later on when we go into the cover letter, I'll show you how you could sort of prove your soft skills. But on your skills section, I recommend that you only include hard skills, okay? Now for technical experience, as I said earlier, this is going to be for maybe experienced engineers only. Maybe if you did research, this could be here. Maybe if you did, there's not much else you could do, but maybe if you did research, add that here. That's where you're gonna wanna add technical experience. And you could also include design club experience if you've had it before. I personally didn't, but if you do, include it in technical experience, because that is technically engineering experience, right? So now for personal projects. This is probably gonna be the biggest section and the most crucial section for non-experienced engineers, as it was for me. Now, I just included just 2 of my probably most impressive projects. Manual transmission gearbox model, gearbox-driven propeller launcher. Now you're going to want to include the specific details, the maybe some numerical values right here, like the gear ratios. I had some gear ratios here as well, and some settings for 3D printing. And then you want some results if you had any. Some of the smaller ones like the robotic arm that I mentioned earlier, that's not going to have any results. You're just going to, if you have a project like that, I recommend that you just include the features and the skills used. So pretty much the same text there. just implemented in the resume. Now, for other experience, this is going to be sort of maybe retail experience or a volunteering experience. That's still going to be useful even if you're applying for engineering positions. Okay, and this is where you could mention some of those soft skills that you weren't able to mention in that skills section. Okay, so add that right over here, right here in other experience section. Cover letter. So there's 4 sections: intro, 2 bodies. And actually, the bodies are going to depend on sort of how much experience is and how much you could talk about. So if you don't have much experience, I recommend just doing 1 body, because the second body will probably just be filler. But in general, 4 different sections, and the last one's going to be a concluding sentence. And we want to fit this all onto 1 page. Okay, so yeah, just 1 page. Now, I know as engineers we can do all this complicated shit like Laplace transform, Fourier transform, freaking electric circuits, all this kind of shit. And the one thing that we suck at is English. So listen very carefully and listen to my advice. Okay, so in the intro, you're gonna want to explain your specific relation to the qualifications that you saw on the job posting. Okay, now second, after that, you're gonna want to mention the proof of this relation, but follow this sort of format for your intro and shoot for like 4 or 5 sentences, something like that. Now for the bodies, elaborate on those experiences that you mentioned earlier, because the bodies are going to be where all the meat, all the specific information that are going to be sort of showcased to the hiring manager. You're gonna wanna have a very juicy, detailed paragraph that they could read, and that's gonna be in this body section. So elaborate on the sections that you mentioned in your intro paragraph. And for the concluding sentence, just open the doors for them to reach out to you. Okay, this could be like, oh, thank you for taking the time to read my application and read my cover letter. You can contact me at blah blah blah.com or blah 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 at gmail.com or 604-123-45678, your phone number, whatever it is, and include that here so that they can just see where to contact you, right? So I was not able to go into full detail about the cover letter, but if you want more detail on that, I do have a part in my course that helps you write cover letters, and you can actually talk to people in this course because there is a community. And if you want some feedback on your cover letter from other engineers, then you could get that on your cover letter if you join the course down below. And you can also get feedback on your resume and portfolio. And as I said earlier, there are templates in this course, and that is all a bonus to the actual video course that I made for you guys. Click the link down below, and yeah, good luck for your applications.